All right, let's see what this video is about, chat. Gaming's biggest tragedy, the rise and fall of Diablo 4.
On June 6th of 2023, Diablo 4 officially launched, and it was an instant home run success. Twitch was booming, the concurrent player base peaked at almost 7 million players, long queue times, and celebrities partook in the ride. Everybody thought this was the game they were going to call home for a while. Now, there are as little as 400 people watching Diablo 4 on Twitch.
Okay, okay, he's taking that out of context. Yeah, at the lowest point, 400. You found the literal lowest point, 400.
Players are forced to complete world bosses
In that mode's still playing, dude. What the fuck?
and events completely on their own, and
He would have been doing that deliberately. Okay, he would have been doing that world boss solo deliberately. All right. To prove, like, that a build could do damage. Because that's, you know, like, oh, well, look how fast I can kill this boss solo. And he used that as, like, an argument.
player population dropped by over 99%.
Okay.
The economy between Eternal and Seasonal realms
That's pretty
have been
extreme.
destroyed by rampant bugs. Season 1 content was an absolute disaster, and Season 2 looks to be the exact same. How did this happen? Where did this once beloved franchise go wrong? And what will it take to fix it? Today I'm going to explore the timeline of Diablo 4 from pre-release to what the game is now.
I'll let him cook, chat. I've got many things to say about what he just said, but I'll let him cook. Instead of just pausing and talking about the whole time, let's just let him cook and see what he says.
A cup of coffee and settle in, because this is the complete timeline of how Diablo 4 became the biggest disappointment in gaming history. Of course, I want to give a big thank you to the YouTube subscription members who keep this dream alive by directly supporting the channel.
Okay,
we truly couldn't do it without you, and we'll talk a little bit more about this.
All right. Okay.
Now, ever since the late 90s, Blizzard Entertainment has been a staple in the gaming world, making some of the most popular and beloved gaming franchises of all time. The Warcraft trilogy, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and their most popular, the World of Warcraft. The Diablo franchise in particular was a real heavy hitter. It embodied the true heart and soul of what the company stood for at the time. An incredible RPG gaming experience that is a mix of fantasy and dark gothic horror that many people across the world just couldn't put down. Diablo 2 released in the year 2000 and had a profound impact on the gaming world and revolutionized the ARPG genre. The social aspect alone fostered a sense of community among players, paving the way for future online multiplayer games.
This is a fucking game, bro. This is a fucking game. Let's actually have a look here. What do you guys think? Diablo. Which Diablo's going to come up first? Oh, we've got a Diablo. Diablo 2. 1.7k people watching it right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, that's kind of sad and depressing right there. That's kind of... Oh shit. Oh shit. The game that's fucking like 20 years old has got more people watching.
And if you didn't want to play online, you didn't have to. The game left a permanent mark on the gaming world by introducing multiplayer features, innovative gameplay mechanics, expansion packs, and DLCs that influenced countless titles that followed it. This iconic game remains relevant even 2 decades after its initial release, leaving people hooked to this day.
I mean,
by the time Diablo 3 went into...
Define relevant, bro. Define relevant. I don't know if I would call D2 relevant. Do you think it's relevant? I don't know if I... It's alive still. I mean, it depends on your, you know, there's a spectrum of relevance.
To production, a whole new development team was in place. And in many eyes, this time period was the beginning of the end for Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh, Wyatt Chang, dude. Classic.
With the game finally launching on May 15th, 2012, the infamous Error 37 plagued the internet, leaving countless players in limbo on launch day.
This is a message to the people who work for Blizzard. Can't even play the fucking game! This is bullshit! This is bullshit! I paid money, cash money, dollars, money, cash money!
The auction house, doing more harm than good, gave you the opportunity as a player to spend hundreds of dollars of your hard-earned real-life money.
This is fucking vile, bro. This is fucking vile. Like, the fact that they tried to implement this, and the fact people still defend this shit to this day, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
On items in the game. And this benefited Blizzard greatly because they took a $1 cut on every success.
Like, the point of a computer game, chat, is that it's supposed to be a reset and it's supposed to be a fair playing field. So then everyone can go in that virtual world And then, you know, it's not like, oh, this guy's richer than me or that guy's poorer. No, it's like what you are in the game. And then, but then the second you just put an RMAH in the game, well, now guess what? That imbalance just exists in the computer game now, and it's just pay to win. It's dog shit. It's fucking trash. It's trash as fuck. I don't like what the fuck. That's dumb as fuck.
Successful auction. And with the game's insane levels of progressive difficulty, it meant that if you wanted to progress in the game effectively, the perfect gear was just in Wallet's reach for nearly 2 years until it was finally removed. It took many years of innovation to bring Diablo 3 to where it is today. DLCs, seasons being implemented, greater rifts, and non-stop updates for nearly 10 years. A game with a disastrous launch and some fundamental problems with its core design has grown into one of Blizzard's most long-lasting and beloved games that is currently being played and viewed as much as Diablo 4.
Okay, you're comparing the D3 season launch to like the absolute downtime of D4. Okay, this is so biased. This is so biased. You need to add more context. Yo, D4 bad.
Now, with 3 games in the franchise under its belt, Blizzard was looking to announce Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. But with the horrific Diablo Immortal announcement at BlizzCon 2018...
With Android and iOS, we don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Imagine getting booed at BlizzCon. Dude, people paying literally fucking thousands of dollars to like pay for hotels, travel there, get the ticket, and they're like the most diehard fans, and they're booing at you, bro. And it's not even as a meme, it's ironic booing. Like, what the fuck?
Trying to build excitement for yet another Blizzard game is something that seems very grim in today's world. The once king of kings in game development has fallen very far from what they once were. They're hoping their heavy-hitter franchise like Diablo can once again spark life into the cold, bitter shell Blizzard is today. It all started with a grand announcement at BlizzCon.
I was there.
Hype and excitement amongst the fans.
I was there.
Easily being one of their greatest cinematics to date, the Diablo 4 announcement trailer left fans excited and happy to see Blizzard attempt and return to their truly dark and gothic roots of Diablo 2. Once the announcement trailer dropped, Blizzard was officially on the clock from the fans. And then, disaster struck.
More than 1,500 Activision Blizzard employees are calling for the resignation of the company's CEO,
Holy fucking Bobby, dude.
That Kotick had known about things, and he also had threatened to have an assistant killed at one point.
The company began to truly unravel midway through the development in 2021, with a major lawsuit against Activision Blizzard being filed for a near 2-year running investigation into the company from the state of California. Between the sexual allegations, unfair and unethical treatment toward women in the workplace, and more dark evil secrets being surfaced, hundreds of employees at Blizzard walk out to protest against this frat boy culture and even more quit or step down from the company, leaving everything in disarray. And Diablo 4 was no exception to this. The ongoing sexual harassment lawsuit took a major toll on Blizzard, and the company bled high-quality developers and talent.
You gotta remember, the games were already dog shit at this point. It's like, the games are already dog shit. Just to be clear here, the games were dog shit already before, like, this shit happened. The game, like, really, I don't know what to tell you. The games were already dog shit at this point in time. To be clear. Like, this is just some fucking drama shit. But no, just I want to be clear. I mean, anyone who's watching this video who's out of touch with what's going on, this video is so biased and it is to such an extreme degree that I feel like it's not very, that's lacking integrity. This video is lacking integrity currently. That he's not providing enough context and he's painting a picture in a very specific way. But let's keep watching. What is this? Remember when the story broke and Quinn dedicated a 3-hour segment showing seeds of doubt in the victims' stories? Lol W. No, I mean, what are you talking about? The guys who allegedly stole breast milk. I still don't. I'll be honest, dude. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. Nobody's stealing fucking breast milk, homie. Nobody's stealing fucking breast milk. That's just not happening.
Rapidly. In Blizzard's earning report for investors, they clearly stated that it has become apparent that some of the Blizzard content planned for the next year will benefit from more development time to reach its full potential. They also said they need extra time to complete production and continue growing their creative resources to support the titles after launch. Though not stated explicitly, the wording in the report implies that neither Overwatch 2 or Diablo 4 will launch before 2023. So with no other option, Diablo 4 was officially delayed.
Classic.
For a while during this time, Blizzard did what they do best. Feed and prey off the nostalgia of previous games from their fans. The nostalgia of the great times this company once had. They went down the line and re-released titles of all their beloved games. Classic World of Warcraft, which led to what is now the re-release of the Wrath of the Lich King. Warcraft Reforged.
Blizzard and a bunch of sexual predators make trash games and they feed off the lifeblood of the old IPs.
Forge, which was a convoluted disaster. And finally, Diablo 2 Resurrected. They knew that by releasing these games, it would make them hundreds of millions of dollars and give them more time to try and develop something new that the fans would come to love once again. But time and time after...
DTLR was a W. I don't care what you say. Like, you know, ultimately, don't get me wrong, I want them to develop more games rather than just keep remaking old games, for sure. I'm on that train. If I have a choice between a new IP or a new game or remaking an old game, I'm always going to pick the new one. But, you know, D2R... I mean, D2 was such a fucking classic that actually, you know what, doing it revamped, that's right. And they did it right. They did it right. Even if it wasn't them who did it, it was like some other company they hired. Still, they're the ones who hired it. It was a W.
They failed to follow through with that promise and always come up short. With the new day and age of Blizzard's monetization, where they squeeze everything they can take, it finally took its toll. Classic era of World of Warcraft having expansion pack passes, character boosts, and now a new WoW token across expansions.
That's so dog shit. What are you doing? How are you allowing this to get into your games, boys? Like, how are the WoW players allowing this to get into the game? For real, like, how on earth the fuck, like, how did everyone not just quit? Why would you keep playing once WoW token's in? Straight up. It's so fucking, it's, what are you up to, mate?
You can literally buy gold with real-life money. Overwatch 2 being a copy of Overwatch 1 with egregious monetization and broken promises of new content and story that never came to light. Warcraft Reforged being a reskin with even more broken promises.
Blizzard bad.
At this point in time,
Warcraft 3 Reforged was fucking dog water. I will admit that was fucking absolute trash.
Seems as if the company continues to make the wrong decisions based on greed and simply takes advantage of its player base across.
Diablo Immortal is a fucking travesty. It's an abomination. It should have been aborted. You know, the second, just preconception. It shouldn't have even. The fact that they even like thought this up and then said this is a good idea and then pushed it and then launched it as their main event at a BlizzCon blows my fucking mind. It's so out of touch. It's so fucked. The game itself is so unethical, predatory, and honestly, I should never touch a Blizzard product again just because of how bad Diablo Immortal was, like just ethically. But you know, what can I say? I'm a Blizzard fanboy. No, I'm not really anymore. I kind of know what Blizzard are now. They're kind of like a husk, a shell of what they once were. But I still have hope that they may, you know, put the right people in the right places where they could randomly pop off and make an okay game. But, you know, we'll have to see.
Every game they've ever developed. We had no choice. The only thing we can do now is hope that Diablo 4 doesn't follow this sad and beat down pattern. And for many others, including myself, this would be Blizzard's last chance at repairing what is a betrayed and broken relationship.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're going to try it. They release another game. They release a new IP. You're going to play it. It's not going to be your last game. Shut the fuck up. You're going to play it. Shut the fuck up. Even if you think it's bad, you'll still play it and make a video on how bad it is, okay? All right, and so will you, chat. So will you. Most of chat will. Most of chat will. You will. You will. You will. If they release a fucking new MMO or a new fucking game, you'll give it a go just to see. Okay, the question is, did you download D2R? Did you download D4? Did you download Overwatch? I mean, no. Okay, if you said no to all those things, all right. Well, then I guess you're just not a Blizzard fanboy. But let's be honest, all the people who play the old Blizzard games, they're just ultimately they have it's like some shit, like it's a spell that Blizzard have cast on you where you just got to try it. Now, I don't know at what point Blizzard would have to basically release Diablo Immortal again for me to be like, fuck Blizzard. That's what they'd have to do. They'd really have to just release Diablo Immortal again for me to be like, fuck Blizzard ever. I'm never playing your games ever again. That's what they'd have to do. Now, if they manage to do that somehow, then okay, fuck Blizzard. But yeah, right now Blizzard just to me is just a low-rated company. I don't really expect much, but fuck it. Whatever they put out, I'm gonna try it just to see how bad it is. You know, I'm gonna give it a go. Anyway, it's still gonna give it a go, and I feel like that is the case for most people. And then people who cope themselves into saying they're not gonna play it when they actually fucking will. They actually fucking will.
Between us and what used to
They're
be
lying to themselves.
A magical company.
So stop holding out hope that
Classic
Blizzard's going to come back. Everyone who founded Blizzard, all the principles that Blizzard was founded on, are dead. They've been desecrated. Let Blizzard go. That's my main message, is let Blizzard go. Appreciate what was created back when it was done. Stop holding out hope that it's going to come back, because it's not.
Hope. Hope is all that remains. In August of 2022, Blizzard announced their Diablo 4 alpha playtest, running for friends and family of Blizzard employees. Jason Schreier, a Bloomberg reporter, states on Twitter, "A bunch of people are playing an early build of Diablo 4 right now thanks to a friends and family alpha test. These players are under NDA, but I'm hearing mostly positive buzz." Schreier also noted that there are no microtransactions in the alpha build, so players won't have much of an idea what to expect from monetization. Although, Blizzard has previously confirmed that small Diablo 4 purchases will be cosmetic only, aside from larger story expansions.
Yeah.
Months later, the Diablo 4 endgame beta invites go out in October of 2022, and the playtest officially begins. The playtest itself gave lucky testers a chance to go up against Lilith in the post-campaign Sanctuary and test out Diablo 4's endgame modes and instances. This included the Whispers of the Dead system, the progressively challenging Nightmare dungeons, region-wide Hell Tides, the Fields of Hatred PvP, and the Paragon board progression system.
Wait, so they had that fucking Uber busted that whole time. Are you telling me they didn't manage to like fix out all the bugs, given like the fact that was in the in-game beta test? And how did the in-game beta testers not tell like, hey guys, there's just not enough content in this game. People are gonna get bored after like a week. Like, guys, there's not enough. Like, hey, you need more content. You need more content. Like, there needs to be more in-game. But they just released it anyway. Jason Schreier is a hack and a clown. I got bad vibes from him. I didn't remember what the vibes. I have that very good memory. I just know that guy. I got bad vibes from that guy. I can't remember what he did, but I just know that some shit he said in the past was cringe.
This was the only endgame test they hosted before launch, with enough time to make changes. And this is going to be important and a big conversation topic later. A couple months after that,
like
a
inventory
massive article
space
comes out on the Washington
so many
Post,
things. Itemization.
Stating that Diablo 4 developers are working overtime to meet the release deadline, and it also includes their own staff, stating there is mismanagement and disturbing script changes that might contribute to delays. It's a process that's been plagued by mismanagement and employees being promised perks for working late evenings and weekends outside of regular work hours, but employees stating they were simply negligible perks, such as...
I don't get it. Who doesn't work 7 days a week and then also like fucking most of the day? Like, who doesn't do that? Like, it's not even that. Like, bro, fuck.
A $25 DoorDash credit if they worked more than 10 hours a day.
Hell yeah, just log in for 10 hours a day, just get DoorDash.
They described a mounting sense of dissatisfaction and malice amongst employees as they endured leadership change constantly, and that the Diablo team has been losing talent for over a year as employees look for more competitive wages and better work conditions elsewhere. Activision Blizzard CEO...
What is this? It's cool, OJ. I mean, that's fine, bro. This is fine. You know what? You have no idea. You have no idea the amount of bullshit I do. You chatters just think the stream just works and it just happens, and then it just like there's no admin, there's no sorting out anything. It just oh yeah, he just turns up and plays computer games and that's it, and he just goes away and that's it, bro. Oh, shut the fuck up, chat. You literally have no idea. Okay, there's a lot of bullshit that goes into streaming. Okay, a lot of bullshit. All right, so just don't even... Streaming is a real job, okay? Streaming is a real job. And guess what, dude? Oh, coding computer games. That sounds fun. I could like computer games. That sounds like one of the things I wanted to do was be a game designer. Well, that's not even a job. It's really fun, right, guys? Just code games. Just design games. Oh, yeah, that's such a fun job anyway. So it's not even work, is it? Like, listen to see how stupid your argument is. See how stupid it is? It's a dumbass argument. It's a dumb argument.
Bobby Kotick attributed the company's stock price drop to the game delay of Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 rather than the ongoing sexual harassment lawsuit filed against the company in July of 2021. He quotes, "I think what affected the stock price more than the sexual harassment investigation is pushing out the release dates of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4.
I mean, the sexual harassment stuff, that was like obviously bad and all that. It was pretty, whatever. That was like, what? 2 weeks of drama, and then it kind of just went away. Now it's just memes. It was. It was,
His comments frustrated some of the company's developers who felt he was blaming them unfairly, stating, "We felt very much like he just drove the bus over on top of us."
Like, what I'm saying is, okay, there's sexual harassment every day, everywhere, in many different companies all over the place, right? Like, what are you going to care about more? Like, some sexual harassment in some company, or if your TV show you want to watch, it gets delayed. Or like some company that's associated with developing that TV show has some sort of sexual harassment lawsuit. The thing that's going to affect you personally on a personal level is the fact that your game you're going to play isn't going to come out, or the movie you were going to watch is getting delayed. That's the reality, which is, that's what I'm saying, which is why I do think that would be what's affecting the stock prices. I think that is true. I think Bobby is not even wrong there. What I'm saying is people don't really care that much, right? People don't really, like, when it comes down to it, they just care about what they get and what they want, which if it doesn't affect them on a personal level, they don't really give a fuck. The average person doesn't really give a fuck. Like, that's just how it be. Do you know how many people, like, starved to death in some place? Or how many people got fucking machete down in some place? Some fucking natural disaster killed a bunch of people? Bro, it didn't affect them, so then guess what? They just go about their day-to-day life and don't really care that much. Because we're not capable of caring about everything all at once, chat. It's not possible. Okay, so, I think Bobby's not wrong there.
As you can see, the relationship and chemistry within the company...
It is what... Like, you guys think the average person is sitting there going on Twitter, looking at all the Blizzard drama and all the fucking... Like, no, dude. They're just going to work, fucking doing some shit, come back home, sitting back, drinking a beer, maybe watching some TV or some shit. Okay, going on Twitch, maybe, like, booting up an Xbox, playing a fucking console game. They're not sitting there like, I need to find out the latest drama about Bobby Kotick. Let me watch this beluga TV video where he covers some inside story about one guy who said he drank breast milk. I need to catch up to find out about the latest Like, no, dude. That's not what the average person is doing, homie.
To begin crumbling. A person familiar with senior leadership found the performance shares unnecessary and even destructive, arguing that they incentivize leadership to cut corners, compromise, and ship products that are not ready to be released instead of doing what is the best thing for the long-term value creation.
That's stupid.
Employees...
Honestly, this is a bigger meta issue with gaming in the current year, is why, like, fucking these stupid-ass suits at the top need to stop saying, you need to release it right now, because this is when our fucking shareholder meeting is. It needs to be done this year, this time, okay? Because then stocks are going to go up in price and it's going to be so good. Okay, they need to say, fuck you, don't release the game until it's ready. And then guess what? If you just, take a bit of an L financially, temporarily, short term, you're going to get a way bigger W long term, because guess what? If you release banger games... like old Blizzard did, like good game companies do, then guess what? People buy those fucking games. So, like, don't force a game out before it's ready. Wait until it's finished, then release it. And then, guess what? It's a good game. And then you make more money in the long term. Like, Cyberpunk, for example, shouldn't have been released until Cyberpunk 2.0. Cyberpunk clearly came out 2 years too early, in my opinion. Like, straight up. If Cyberpunk... do you know how big Cyberpunk would have been if it had come out in this current quality? Do you know how many people play Cyberpunk, thought it was dog shit and quit it? Like myself included, and probably will never return to the game. And it lost massive respect for CD Projekt Red because of the way in the state Cyberpunk released in. So many people. Okay? If Cyberpunk had released in its current state, it would have been goated, and I would say it would be like close, if not Game of the Year. I mean, it is really good. Now, is it Baldur's Gate good? I mean, dude, probably not. But it's fuck it up there. Dude, I had dreams 2 consecutive nights in a row about Cyberpunk, and I really want to play Cyberpunk, but then this Diablo 4 bad video came out, so I was like, fuck, I've got to do a Just Chatting stream this morning to react to this D4 bad video, okay? Because it's content, okay? That's ultimately what I want to play Cyberpunk right now, so I'm going to continue watching. But yeah, the point is, though, release fucking games, not at some arbitrary deadline based on some financial meeting with shareholders. No, release the game when it's fucking ready and it's good, and then guess what? You'll build up massive rapport with the people who are playing your games, and then they'll just buy all your games blindly like they did in the past. It's pretty simple.
They just went to work every day and got angry, either because the tools were slow or they simply did not like the game that much. They also stated that it wasn't just employees that left. It was many with institutional knowledge and decades of experience, leaving brand new employees and developers brought in from elsewhere to fill in. Diablo 4's unannounced internal release date went from 2021 to December of 2022, then got pushed back further to April 2023, and then finally June of 2023. A former employee stated, "We're at the point where they're not willing to delay the game anymore. So we all just have to go along and figure out how much we're willing to hurt ourselves to make sure the game gets released in a good enough state." To help Diablo 4 get over the finish line, Activision Blizzard enlisted industry veterans such as Rod Ferguson. Rod would hold weekly Zoom meetings.
The fucking Rodcast? Is that what that explores, like malignant tunnels as well? Like, what the fuck?
Known as Rodcasts, which during them...
All right, it's time. The Rodcast has begun, boys. It's time for your malignant tunnel inspection.
He would talk about celebrities he's met and movies he enjoys. Employees felt that not much actually came out of these discussions, stating, "To me, he came off as a bit of a clout chaser about where he came from, like Gears of War. We all thought he was going to come in and fix the game. And when nothing happened, that's when you started to see this massive turnover." The Blizzard Entertainment...
Rod was the ship it guy. Let's be honest here. Rod was the ship it guy. That the guy brought in, that's like, all right, just ship the game. These are the ship it guy. Like, yeah, we're shipping this.
A company that was once so dedicated to quality and putting out the best product they possibly can is currently rushing out Diablo 4 in a good enough state, with employees and team members who don't get along, and leaders who are poor at taking care of their team members. All of this inside of an environment that is polluted with greed and numbers more than anything. With launch just a few months away, Diablo 4 is looking grim. On February 21st, the developers officially released the Inside the World of Sanctuary video, where they had many developers speak upon the art direction, environment, monsters, gameplay innovations, and world building.
Yeah, I remember these.
They made promises and stated they wanted to bring the game back.
These were like out of touch, weird interviews, and they had these lofty ass fucking quotes. Infinite customization, insane endgame.
Toward Diablo 2.
We wanted to bring Diablo 4 artistically more back towards like Diablo 2, the much darker style.
And they also emphasized non-repetitive gameplay features.
So you never feel like you're always doing the same thing. The pacing is always a little bit different.
On March 1st, they released a video showing the gameplay trailer for the beta early access of Diablo 4, announcing that you could play the game on March 17th through March 19th if you pre-purchase the $90 digital.
Fuck early access. Yo, fuck this shit with dude, fuck early access. Fuck devs giving up like early access. Bro, can you believe, dude, they're doing early access to DLCs now. They're doing streamer early access to DLCs. Not even fucking, hey, let's just give like, let's just give a bunch of streamers early access to a game so that you can sit there and you can watch someone fuck your wife. Cause fuck you. And ask yourself, why? Why do they want to give streamers early access? Why do they want to do that? Ask yourself that question. What is the reason, chat? Oh, yeah. Like, really, can someone give me a reason that isn't, oh, so they can control the narrative and spin it in a positive light? Can someone give me a single reason that isn't that? Because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. There's literally no other way. There is no other way. Because, okay, free advertising. Well, guess what? If everyone's gonna play the game anyway, then they're gonna get that advertising regardless. You dumb fucks. No, they're not paying people to come play it early. No, they're just giving special early access to certain people that I know have positive outlooks on the game. So then when people see them playing it and they're saying positive things, they're going to think, oh, this must be good, so then I'm going to buy it. It's fucking dog shit. It's fucking trash. Okay? And we should be calling this shit out. What the fuck, CD Projekt Red? What the fuck, Blizzard? What the fuck, literally every company in the current year that is AAA? Why the fuck are we allowing this to happen?
Deluxe or $100 Ultimate Edition of the game. The $100 Ultimate Edition gives you the advantage to play up to 4 days early over everyone else, the accelerated seasonal battle pass unlock, mounts, cosmetics, emotes, and even rewards for their other Blizzard games such as World of Warcraft, Diablo Immortal, and Diablo 3. By this point, it is very well known that Diablo 4 was going to have a battle pass that was cosmetic only, and a big reward for buying this set of editions was a small boost through the battle pass. It's important to note that the battle pass was not available until the launch of Season 1, which didn't come until a month and a half after the game's launch.
Yeah.
The early access weekend for Diablo 4 arrived, and the game was in the hands of the public, allowing you to go up to level 25. This weekend was only available to players who have pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe Edition, and you could play as the Barbarian, Rogue, or Sorcerer. It only allows you to play through Diablo 4's prologue in one zone, and that is Fractured Peaks. Once again, no endgame testing.
Yep.
At first, the servers were plagued with horrendous queue times and error codes. A simple explanation is that there is a repeating cycle going on where players would sit in a sometimes over hour-long queue, finally get logged into the game, to only then get disconnected and be put back in an even longer queue after about 5 to 10 minutes of playing.
Get fucked, bozo.
This continued through most of the night until Blizzard put out a patch that seemingly fixed the problem. This angered many people because they spent additional money to play that said early access weekend, and it...
Fucking pay piggy ass bitches. Although I remember getting fucked by that queue. That was some bullshit.
Started to raise some eyebrows in the community. Overall, though, from a gameplay perspective, people were relatively happy with Diablo 4 as a game so far. But of course, there were concerns, and there were a few in particular that stood out to the community. And like a dagger coated in poison, issues that seemingly never went away. Some of these include that there isn't anything in Diablo 4 that's redefining what an ARPG can be. Tedious grinds that you're forced to do and aren't even fun the first time, including Renown, Altars of Lilith, waypoints, and instead of it being fun challenges, it was simply a Google search to find the location and run around and collect them all. The UI across the board needed work, being forced to play online and having no
Every single point he's making right now is all minor and kind of trivial, and it doesn't really make it. Like, literally, you could have the best itemization, the best systems, the best UI, the fucking best graphics, the best gameplay, and default would still be bad. Default would still be bad. There's nothing to do in the game. There's nothing to do in the game. It is all the end game. It is the lack of They got no content in the game. There is nothing to do.
Offline mode, worried player bases about server stability, and it felt like Diablo 4 wasn't created with the same heart as Diablo 1 and 2 were. Little did they know, it only got much worse moving forward. The open beta weekend arrived, allowing everybody openly to play the game, and all 5 classes up to level 25.
Yep.
Immediately, players are noticing the difference in power between the Druid and the Necromancer, and coming to the conclusion that classes like the Barbarian and the Druid lag behind significantly in terms of kill speed, unlike the other classes leveling. The balance was so bad about the Druid that memes were being made, and the class was nothing but a laughingstock.
For 17.
Yeah, and then they were wrong. They were wrong. Idiots. They were all wrong. They were all wrong. Druid was actually lit. All these guys talking shit about, they were all wrong, by the way. Druid ended up being OP as fuck. It was bullshit, because I was like, hell yes, I loved it as shit. I was so excited to play the shittiest class. And then everyone's like, wait a minute, Druid's actually good. Holy shit, everyone reroll. Everyone reroll. That was some bullshit.
Damage.
Oh, what a... Players feel as though that the game is missing key features such as the gem tab, skill loadouts, more bank storage, inventory filters, and more quality of life features that are widely seen across gaming. Between the issues with the early access and open beta weekends, players are starting to believe that the game is poorly developed and there is a lot of fine-tuning that needs to be done. Other than that, the base game of combat animations and story seemed good enough for now. After the open beta weekends, the official Diablo team releases the Into the Endgame developer update video, breaking down everything the game has to offer once you reach the end game. And developers made incredibly bold promises that were sadly never delivered upon.
Brand new activities that provide meaningful progression, no matter their playstyle.
There's going to never be an absence of something to do.
Paragon Wars place will allow you to have a lot more depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go. There's over 120 dungeons to play through and find in Diablo 4.
No one got baited by that. However, I remember that, hearing that 120 number for the first time, and I was like, guys, what do you think? What do you think? Do you reckon there's going to be 120 actual unique individual dungeons that are going to be like crazy? Or do you think it's going to be like reskins with the same fucking 10 bosses? And pretty much everyone was like, yeah, reskins the same 10 bosses. Yeah, pretty much everyone. That happened. You can go find the YouTube video where I react to that, to that very thing, and you can see even chat didn't get baited by that. No, I mean, yeah, we could say they're full of shit.
And any one of them can become a nightmare dungeon.
We later found out that this was simply not true, being that there was only roughly 20 nightmare dungeons in a rotation at a time, forcing you to do the same ones over and over again.
And even if you had a 120, it would still be they're basically the same anyway.
2 days later, the Diablo 4 team announces they are making significant changes to character classes, dungeon design, UI changes, and more. This leaves people very excited that the developers are listening to player feedback and are excited for the future.
Let's go.
Through the last few months before launch, the Diablo 4 developers assure us that they're going back to their roots of Diablo 2.
Well, the initial direction was Diablo 2.
The fantasy of a dark, gothic, medieval world.
Darker and grittier, and Diablo 2 is kind of the inspiration.
We wanted to bring Diablo 4
I said it so many times.
Artistically more back towards like Diablo 2.
It was actually annoying how many times I said it was Return to Darkness.
Heard this story before? Is this something that Blizzard is doing once again to tug on our nostalgia? Is history going to repeat itself like it did with Warcraft Reforged, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft Classic? The only thing left to do now is hope what they say is true.
I think they did actually return to be fair, with the blood and the guts and the killing and everything, they did Return to Darkness pretty hard. I feel like they maybe they succeeded on that one point. The artistry was a little bit bland, but it was definitely not like Diablo 3 cartoon. It was not cartoon. It was not like D3 cartoons. No. I like the aesthetic. I like the aesthetic.
And await.
Now, the world and stuff, you compare that world to, like, it doesn't even feel like a world. It feels like an empty, barren, fucking wasteland randomly generated that you run through. You compare it to the Baldur's Gate world where everything feels alive. Every NPC has a life, a story, a backstory. You talk to a blacksmith. He has a fucking quest. Okay, yeah, they could have done way better, but ultimately, purely from an aesthetic standpoint, and they did kind of Return to Darkness. What is this? Remember after the open beta, Quinn plus the rest of the shills called us haters for saying Default was a bad game? They were all blinded by hype and stream metrics, and now it's not meant to be for the love of Diablo. They can't react history and claim they thought Default was bad. Disgusting. Go back and watch my videos, the reacts. Go back and watch my videos. No, you're just an idiot. You're just an idiot, and you got your hype meter up too high. Right, that's ultimately what happened. I had already accepted it. Oh, this is a console game ported to PC, and it's, basically D3.5, whatever, dude. I'm not expecting much, and, honestly, my expectations are extremely low. Yeah, D4 is D4 is not as bad as Starfield, for example. D4 is not as bad as Starfield. D4, I mean, I think it's like a 6 out of 10 game. It's like an above average game. There's no doubt. The game is at least a 6 out of 10 game. Like, it's better than Starfield. Straight up. And shut the fuck up.
Launch.
Shut the fuck up.
Before you know it, the internet is absolutely slammed with Diablo 4 marketing. Whether it be the KFC collaboration, the non-stop Megan Fox promotions, pre-launch dinner parties.
Like, non-stop Megan Fox promotions. It happened like fucking 3 times on Twitter, bro.
With big names in the gaming industry, the Diablo...
Wait, big names in the gaming industry?
Fox promotions, pre-launch...
That one guy from that... Was he from the Guardians of the Galaxy or something? What is he out of? I don't even know. What is this guy in? It's like from... I think he's inside... Oh, he's a Stranger Things guy? He's a cop in Stranger Things. Okay.
Launch dinner parties.
Who? I don't know who this is. I have no clue as to who these people are. The Wu-Tang Clan? TJ Aloy? I don't know who the fuck this is.
With big names.
You get Riker, big names in the gaming industry. You get Riker. I'm gonna be honest, Riker is niche. He is niche. He's a Canadian content creator that makes news videos on RPGs. He's not that. I would not just obviously I don't consider myself big. He is niche. It's not even a big name.
Games in the gaming industry.
Who's that? Is that Dead Set Gaming? That's Dead Set, right? Dead Set Gaming? Force Gaming.
The Diablo 4 cathedral painting in France, the Halsey Diablo 4 song, and even a launch live-action trailer. They also announced the Diablo 4 hardcore leveling competition, where the first 1,000 users to reach level 100 on hardcore will be eligible to have their battle tag engraved on a physical statue of Lilith on the Blizzard campus. Blizzard held nothing back in wanting all eyes of the world on Diablo 4, and they knew this launch was going to be a big deal for them. It was either going to make or break the company moving forward, and they were ready to show the world what they had in Diablo 4. At least, that's what we thought. On June 1st of 20...
Not many people thought that. Literally, if you looked at the commentary around D4 at that time, with the early access and everything, everyone was like, yeah, D4's alright. It's okay. It's like a console game ported. He's painting such a picture. That's such a biased picture the whole way through. And it's so extreme. And it's so loaded because if you weren't there and you were watching this as an outside observer, you're going to think man, this is so fucked. No, dude! Blizzard's just evil. I mean, bro, don't stop. It's so biased. The whole way through. It's the whole way through.
2023, the early access launch of Diablo 4 finally arrived. It doesn't matter too much how amazing a game is or even how well received it is. Shareholders, executives, and accountants want to know how well a game is selling. They revealed that in just 5 days, sales of Diablo 4 had surpassed $666 million in revenue, estimating nearly 10 million game copies sold, not even including the additional microtransactions so heavily apparent inside the game. In corporate eyes, Diablo 4 was booming, and it was nothing short of a monumental success. It became officially Blizzard's fastest-selling game of all time. So, Activision Blizzard was back on top, right? Well, that statement couldn't have been more untrue.
Nobody thought
Shortly
that.
after launch, the internet was flooded with reviews about Diablo 4. The early game, being relatively good from a gameplay perspective, quickly dissipated as people headed into the end game. Because the truth is, Diablo 4 had no innovation and nothing truly creative toward the ARPG genre. And Blizzard simply took no risks. Tree of Whispers are the same thing as bounties from Diablo 3.
Bro.
They kept the same generic gambling systems. Paragon boards are just stolen content from Path of Exile and Vulcan.
I play Wilson and I play Path of Exile. Do not even compare that. Do not even compare the Paragon board to the fucking Path of Exile passive skill tree. And he said Vulcan, okay, Wilson, again, had a far better system. Wilson was actually, it had a talent tree. Now, half the talents of Wilson were bugged. But actually, do you know what? Talent tree was actually alright. I actually enjoyed Wilson. No, the Paragon board is just bitch, mid, trash, generic, damage multipliers with extra steps in between. Okay. Holy fuck. Kripp said the Paragon board was more complicated. Yeah, Kripp literally said no. What was the exact quote? It was like, this is like the PoE skill tree except more advanced.
Nightmare dungeons are just riffs from Diablo 3. The new free choice leveling is the same thing as Diablo 3's adventure mode. Nothing here was brand new or innovative. It was the same reused and recycled content, and fans were simply bored of it within a few weeks' time.
Yes, because
the most common mistake we see from games.
He's saying it's all common. He's saying the UI is bad. And he's saying all this stuff, dude. The reason why everyone quit is because there's no content. It's not all these reasons you're listing. He still hasn't said no content. Say no content.
With lack of endgame presence, is they make the grind to max level longer, so it gives them time to come up with something new. And what did Blizzard do? Exactly just that. One by one, they were going across the board and nerfing dungeon farms to permit anyone from leveling too quickly from specific dungeons. And when that wasn't enough, they completely nerfed elite mob density across the board. One of the most fun aspects of the game. Instead of buffing the lackluster dungeons that were boring and slow, They nerfed the fun ones.
That wouldn't have been funny. That they wouldn't. There's still no content in the game. Doesn't matter what they do. They buff it. There's still no content. They nerfed it. Everything down to the same place. There's still no content. So there's no content regardless of which way you buff it, bro.
They continued
buff good, nerf bad.
To do this with nearly everything in the game moving forward. Build diversity was the same result. Across all classes, you could see a clear-cut pattern in people using the same exact builds over and over again. Instead of buffing weak abilities to bring them in line with the strong ones, they simply nerfed the abilities that were performing too well, making everything feel boring. And with the price of recost and the non-existence of skill loadouts or a dual specialization system in play, it was too risky to constantly be testing out and theory crafting new builds. It was too tedious to respec hundreds of Paragon points manually one by one, and flat out too expensive. Having to grind out countless legendary aspects, uniques, and perfect affix rolls on every piece.
The itemization's bad. I'll admit. I think the itemization is like a multiplier. Like these are all multipliers. Each system is like a multiplier to the base game. And during the base game lacks content, which is the main issue. And now bad itemization was a multiplier, like a negative multiplier on the game. Yeah.
Gear was something that took too much time. By this time, players were reaching level 65 plus, and the level pacing drastically slowed down, and so did the excitement of good loot rewards as well.
So the problem with Diablo 4 is that after you spend about 80 hours into the game, all of the gear upgrades that you can get are so minimal, there's nothing else to do.
So the time it took to level vastly increased, and the rewards and purpose for leveling became so much smaller. It's very obvious to everybody now that Diablo 4 has no endgame, and it was heavily front-loaded.
There we go.
The minor endgame testing, mixed with the constant changing of development teams, and major lack of inexperience and workplace professionalism, was finally starting to take its toll.
This wasn't enough content. This wasn't enough content. They should have spent more time making content. Like, all the shit in Season 1 should have been released in Season 1. They should have been packed into the fucking launch of the game. And Season 2 should have been delayed by 3 months. That's what should have happened. Because Season 1 came out too fast, and there was too little content in the base launch of the game. Literally, Season 1 should have been packed in with the fucking start of the game, and they should have had other shit on top of that. Okay, and then Season 2 shouldn't have started for 3 months later. That's what should have happened. Okay. Even then, it's still not enough. Even then, the game should just been delayed for another year, and they should just made more shit for the game. Right? They should just... The game should have just straight up been delayed for another year. Maybe even longer, but like... And then just they put more shit into the game and then release it. But you know what? We'll get to this conclusion at the end.
During this time, the in-game cash shop is being flooded with skins and cosmetic options available for purchase, even some cases where the cosmetic armor bought with real money would be bugged and not even appear on your character. The hardcore player-based drama is at an all-time high, with players dying constantly to server instability, disconnects, and things being completely out of their control
This happened so long ago.
Game. Even worse, to confirm your place as a winner in the race, you had to tweet the Diablo Twitter account a Diablo 4 hashtag, your full battle net and battle tag, and lastly, a picture proving you reached level 100. The amateur middle...
This is the ultimate default bad video. He's got everything that everyone's complained about ever, and he's compiled into one video.
Full system of confirming a challenge so important that hundreds of thousands of people are participating in ends up being a
and he's gone with the most extreme bias version of each take as well, and then he just omits stuff that would actually give you more context, so to make it gigabad. It's gigabad.
Mistake.
Blizzard is just pure evil.
Announcing the pure evil winners. This showed a major lack of effort and care in a multi-billion-dollar company, and once again, amateur or brand new developers making huge mistakes, skating by and doing things just good enough once again. There were even several websites out there that tracked the progress of the hardcore characters with having zero budget, so surely Blizzard could have done it themselves. It became too difficult to manage storage inside of a full loot ARPG game. Between gems, legendaries, and aspects, rare items, unique...
The stash tabs on launch and in the game currently still are just unacceptable, and how anyone could playtest that game and not think that that's a problem blows my fucking mind. Like, it genuinely blows my fucking mind.
Inventory was quickly flooded within minutes of grinding out a single dungeon, and players demanded more room for their other characters. When Blizzard finally responded over a month later, they stated they couldn't add more because it creates a lot of memory overhead. When you see another player in game, you load them, and their entire stash filled with all of their items. Things like a gem tab, leaderboard, stash tabs, loot filters, ability loadouts, all announced to be added in future expansions, sometimes as far as 6 months to a year from now. 1 month after the game launches, they hosted a developer live stream bringing us all some crucial updates to try and calm the community down. To kick off the show, they gave us a 30-minute segment on their new Diablo Immortal class, the Blood Knight, and the whole lore behind the mobile game right now. They also finally showed off the Battle Pass monetization and the seasonal blessings that are implemented to help us quickly gain crafting materials, gold, and experience points more efficiently. This is in regard to having us create whole new characters inside of seasonal realms. And believe it or not, those completely backfired as well.
No, I mean, bro. I mean, the season was just mid and dog shit because there's still no content in the game, so then it's boring, so everyone quits. I mean, dude, what?
Spent smoldering ash to increase the amount of...
It was just bugged. It was bugged as well, wasn't it? Right? What did it? I saw a Datmod's clip. Somehow, like, you would spec into something that would make it cheaper, and it would actually make it more expensive, right?
Gold or materials that you would gain, there was a bug that would increase the amount of costs of everything as well by the same exact percentages. So it became nothing but an illusion of choice. And
they didn't do that deliberately, bro. That was a bug, man. They weren't like just trying. I got a really good idea how to just fuck with people, man. Let's just put some shit in that does nothing. They're gonna think they're speaking into something that does nothing. Like, dude, no.
To even acquire all of your smoldering ash, you actually had to obtain max level to acquire them all, leaving you a system that is nothing but broken and contradictory. Only half of them are now carried over.
You have to hit max level, dude. Oh, it takes 2 days, bro, in the current year. Oh, fuck.
And half of the brand new content and class changes in Season 1 was locked to the seasonal realms and was forbidden on the eternal realms. Meaning that if you wanted all of these brand new changes and updates, you had to start all over and create a whole new character.
Yeah, it's called a season, bro. It's called a season. Okay? Like, yeah. Oh my god, you gotta start, what the fuck? You gotta start a whole new character, you gotta go again. No, dude, no way.
We're then forced to go on to seasonal realms, and players were quickly flooded with additional monetization.
Holy
they even coincidentally made the paid accelerated battle pass button.
The dark patterns, boys, the dark patterns.
The largest icon and glow red on the homepage. They also coincidentally didn't add a confirmation button so that if you accidentally clicked it, you spent your money without any warning.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about this. I think they could have done that. I think that could have been coded in such a way where the mouse, the cursor like starts on it, right? And there's no confirmation box. Like, why isn't it? It's unacceptable that there's no confirmation box. There should be a confirmation box. That does seem dirty. Hey, Blizzard, that's sussy. Basically, what's happening, you would like press a hotkey on your screen to like try open up your inventory or some shit. Oh, you open up the season tab instead. The mouse is like over the button. You click, bang, no pop up, no like, are you sure you want to do this? Boom, you just got it. You just deleted your free use. It's gone.
This even went rampant through Season 1 with people having the ability to trade hundreds of millions of gold, legendaries, and even unique items between the eternal and seasonal realms, completely destroying hard-earned player progression.
So dog shit.
By this point, players were at their limit.
I mean, it looks like the game's just unfinished, buggy mess, and it needed more time in development, and it needed more content, and it shouldn't have been released, and it got forced out too early. Plus Blizzard bad, plus D4 bad. You know,
Metacritic,
anything else bad? Starfield bad.
Scores plummeted, and the population slowly dwindled down to nothing within a week of Season 1 being launched. And
yo, shout out to all these lying ass, fucking bitch ass.
At their limit.
Like, these lying motherfucking reviewer Andys. These lying bozo Andy reviewers. It's actually disgusting. Like, how, like, these fucking shill as fuck reviewers. Like, if you're giving Diablo 4 a perfect rating, bro, like, straight up. They should be giving it about a 6 out of 10. They should be giving it a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. Max 7 out of 10. Max. At no point did I say the game was 10 out of 10. You were coping so hard, Jet. You are literally... Go back to all my old VODs. Go back to all my old videos. The game... it's still to this day, and I still think it is. It's just a slightly above average game. Right? Now, my expectations were low, and I honestly thought it was going to be a bad game. I thought it was going to be a straight-up, complete trash game. I think the game itself is just like... It's just like mid to above mid. And now, I'm expecting they're going to iterate and they're going to, slowly make the game better with each patch. That's what I mean. Now, sometimes they might do a bad patch, and actually, you know what? They go the wrong direction, right? So maybe they're going to go the wrong direction. But I'm thinking, they've got a complete mid game. Maybe by like season 7, season 8, season 9, the game could actually be pretty good. Maybe.
Critic scores plummeted, and the population slowly dwindled down to nothing within a week of Season 1 being launched. And with the final nail in the coffin, Larian Studios released Baldur's Gate 3 on August 3rd of 2023, easily being the front-runner for the game
BG3 good!
It knocked Diablo 4 out.
BG3
the game
good!
Had longer replayability, no egregious monetization, good developers, better RPG aspects, innovative design,
they're different
stable
games, bro.
servers, and a real character creator,
They're different
and gameplay
games.
sections with freedom of choice throughout your entire playthrough.
They're totally different
Most of these
games.
things Blizzard used to take pride in, but those days are now over. A game that just
D4 bad, D3 good.
a few months ago had a population of almost 7 million concurrent active players at once, has now lost more than 99% of its total population and is shrinking more and more by
the 400 viewer thing again, dude. He's done that thing again where he just goes, he goes to the lowest point.
the day. So what was the exact cause of Diablo 4's failure? Was it the constant change in development teams before launch day? The loss of key figures within the company due to the allegations and walkouts? Developers disliking the game they're creating and the increased malice between leaders and company team members? Was it the constant delays?
Do you want a spoiler alert, chat? I think the overall average concurrent player count over a period of, like, say, 3 months, the peak of that in D4 has not been hit yet. I think the brightest 3-month span of D4 that will exist has not happened yet. I think it'll be an expansion. I think maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, I think the true peak of D4 is in the future. This whole D4 is dead meme, dog shit. I don't think D4 is dead. I'm going to be honest. I don't think D4 is dead. Straight up, I think it's some clown shit to say it's dead. Yes, currently, the game is trash. Okay, currently, the game has no content. Currently, a bunch of the systems are fucking awful. But guess what, dude? They're slowly gonna make it better and better. And then you combo that with a fucking banger expansion release, dude. I don't, like, it's far from dead. It's far from dead. Absolutely far from dead. Now, right now, yes, it's dropped off hard as fuck. You're always gonna have a drop-off after a game releases. But this dropped off even harder because the fact of the matter is there's no content in the game to keep playing it. Why are you going to keep playing it? What are you going to do? There's nothing to do. So then that also makes sense. Everyone who's played it has done all the shit. And the game itself is just mid to above average. It's really a mid game, right? And there's so many other games you could be playing right now. Like Cyberpunk, better than D4. BG3, better than D4. You got so many games right now that you can play. Liza P, objectively better than D4. You can just play Liza P. That game's not even that good. Still better than D4. There's a bunch of games you can play right now that are better than D4. Now, the future of D4, I think is far from over, bro. Okay, it's far from over.
Microtransactions being forced on...
Like, mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words. D4 is going to pop off again. It is going to pop off again. And I don't think it's going to be Season 2. I don't think it's going to be Season 3. I think it's going to be further down the line when they have some solid, substantial endgame and shit to do in the game where you could... reasonably play the game for more than like a month at a time, right? Like at that point, then D4 has an actual chance of being a game that you want to play and log into because it'll have shit to do. And not just fake things to do, not just dailies, not just weekly, not some shit like that. Like actually, no, there's things you want to achieve in the game that you haven't achieved that you want to complete and you've got goals that you're working towards and it feels satisfying to reach, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? Now, is that Season 10? Is it Season 7? Is it Season 24. I don't know, bro. Maybe Blizzard will give up. Maybe Blizzard will be like, wow, we've lost some. Like, do you know what? They release an expansion, no one buys it, and they actually say fuck this game, and then it dies. That could be a thing, but I doubt it. I think we are yet to see the peak of D4. Kind of like examples of games, like that right now that I'm about to play. Cyberpunk on release was literal trash. Now Cyberpunk, the one I'm playing right now, is one of the best games I've played in a long fucking time. I'm loving Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is fucking awesome. And I feel sorry for all the people who played it on launch and had a bad experience and now think Cyberpunk is fucking trash. Because actually, do you know what? Cyberpunk is lit. That game is lit. I'm literally dreaming about that game 2 consecutive nights in a row and thinking about playing it when I'm not playing it because it's a fucking good game. The game is actually good. Like, unironically. Now, I wouldn't say it's like the best game ever by any means, but it's a very good game right now. And that's not, I'm not a shill. I'm not being paid. Actually, it's the opposite. I'm getting, like, fucked by the devs because they're doing early access. Fuck CD Projekt Red and their fucking early access dog shit. Okay. No, it's actually a pretty good game.
To players, or is it just the simple fact that Blizzard has completely lost its touch and the era of this once King of Kings is now over? No one really knows exactly. But one thing is for sure. No game in history has had almost 7 million concurrent active players at one time, and within a couple months, get reduced down to less than 40,000 active players throughout the entire day. A 99.4%
loss. Is he making these numbers up? I actually don't believe these numbers. Where is he getting these numbers from? Where is he getting these numbers from? Like, where is he getting these numbers from? I actually don't even know if he, like, I don't know. Like, where is he getting these numbers from? Like, straight up. Where's the 40,000 number coming from? Like, I want to know. Genuinely. Because you can't base that off viewership.
Loss in player base count. This is why Diablo 4 is the biggest disappointment in recent gaming history.
Okay.
Hopefully heading into 2024, they can bring loads of improvements into
D4 bad.
Maybe flip the script on this whole situation. Maybe, just maybe, we can have a solid ARPG to play. But just remember, the new Path of Exile is on its way, and it could very well be too late. Have you played Diablo 4? What are your thoughts?
No. It's a Venn diagram, bro, of gamers. There's a Venn diagram of gamers, right? This is D4 and this is PoE. Now, to be fair, PoE used to be like this, right? PoE used to be like this. And then PoE got like this. And PoE's like this. And now PoE 2 is probably like, I mean, PoE 2 is probably come on more like this now. It's kind of more like this. I think, but ultimately, there's so many people who will not, okay, they will not engage with the skill tree and they will not engage with the complexity that Path of Exile offers. So I just don't think they're ever going to be, like, I don't think PoE 2 will kill D4 ever. That's just not going to happen. Because there's a bunch of people who just think that, like, fuck that game, that skill tree is dog shit, it's way too confusing, I don't like it, I'm never going to play it. That's it.
And feelings. What do you think is the biggest mistake they made?
Okay, he's farming it. Okay, so, you know what? The video itself, whilst it was extremely biased and he paints a picture the way he paints it, ultimately, D4 is pretty bad right now. And it was a good video, so go ahead and like the video, subscribe to him, guys, if you want to, etc. Post on it, reply to it, all that shit. I'm putting it in a chat right there. How D4 is redefining character, they have done it. Yeah, I mean,
people wondering if Diablo 4 would just be a clone to one of its predecessors in the past. And honestly, the main way to figure something like that out is through a game.
Yeah, there's a reason why I was fucking disliked. I mean, to be honest, there's no doubt the guy's a little bit cooked. And he's got a bit of an agenda, a little bit of a bias, a little bit of a, yeah, maybe you could even say a little bit of a grift going on there. But ultimately, it makes for good content, I guess. I mean, the thing is, if you watched that and you had no idea what's going on in the D4 community and you had no idea about the context of D4 and D3 and all that stuff, and you just kind of took everything and said it at face value, you'd be like, holy shit, man, D4 is bad and Blizzard is awful and this is fucking trash and they're just scamming everyone, they hate everyone. And, you know, they're just evil, basically. They just hate the people playing their games. Holy fuck.
Because he is. God damn.